Lisa, supper. Zoya summoned her daughter from the kitchen, but she received no response, no movement. What do you intend to do with her? She's wearing her headphones again and can't hear a thing. Zoya entered her daughter's room resolutely. Well, well, you're on the phone again. Zoya removed the earbud from her daughter's ear. From astonishment, Lisa flinched and didn't immediately think to shield the phone screen from her mother's view. Are you texting with that person again? He has a negative influence on you, distracts you from your studies, and it's your final year. Exams are not tomorrow. Lisa stretched out apologetically, removed the earbud from the second ear, and turned off the phone. Let's go to supper, Zoya repeated sternly and headed for the door. Lisa breathed out wearily and obediently rose from the sofa. She didn't have the appetite, but it was wiser not to disagree with her mother. She hesitantly speared the pasta with her fork and glanced at her mom from the side. Finish your meal. Your Romeo can wait for you. Zoya noticed her daughter's glances in her own way. His name is Igor, quietly corrected her mother Lisa. Tell me please, I didn't know, Zoya said mockingly. It's too early to get pregnant. We're just friends. Mom, come on, asked Lisa. Zoya placed a cup of tea in front of her daughter and served a plate of cottage cheese. Eat, only your eyes are left, she said calmly to her daughter. What, did Mom see our messages yesterday? She doesn't like me, Igor said when he met Lisa at school the following day. Don't fret, she didn't. And concerning the fact that she doesn't fancy you, she's just concerned about me. She doesn't desire me to make the same error she did. You know, she fell in love her second year of high school and got wedded right away. When she gave birth to me, it was a lot of pressure. Studying, lack of money, me. She and my father weren't prepared for it. They started to quarrel a lot. My mom said it was like he'd been substituted. She took a sabbatical and came home with me to my parents. And my father, he never called, never came. It's like he excluded us from his life. He filed for divorce. It was very tough on my mom. Her parents were concerned, scolded her for marrying early. From a student, what alimony? And then, when my father commenced working, she showed pride, didn't humiliate herself, and didn't apply for alimony. That's all love is, Lisa sighed. Mother did not return to school. She joined the workforce as a basic administrator at the museum, working part-time as a cleaner. I am uninterested in pursuing such a path. Lisa strolled beside Igor with her head lowered. Until our graduation from the institute, the thought of marriage shouldn't even cross our minds. I am not contemplating anything of that sort. Why did your mother not remarry? Igor inquired, gazing at Lisa. There were numerous suitors, but she worried about me, a peculiar man in the household. Perhaps she simply hadn't encountered her soulmate yet. I understand, Igor murmured. Listen, my father has an acquaintance. He recently visited us. He's a wonderful man. His wife passed away during childbirth 3 years ago. The baby too. I knew Aunt Luba. She was stunning. I felt sympathetic toward her. I heard him inform my father that he's tired of solitude. He desires a family, but he's afraid. He compares everyone to his wife. And you're proposing that I introduce him to my mom. Well, you're insane. Lisa even halted in astonishment. What's the significant issue? She doesn't permit you to accompany me anywhere. If she had a personal life, it would be simpler to handle it. And so, sighed Yeager. You believe so. Only my mother is not so lenient to acquaint herself with a man. She believes that you are all undependable, that you cannot be trusted. At the slightest difficulty, run and throw. Saying this, Lisa noticed that Igor frowned and saddened. This is she is talking about grown-ups, not about you. Lisa calmed Igor. And I'm not a man. A child, in your opinion? Snarled offended Igor. Do not take offense. She is afraid that you can do to me what my father did to her. Do you understand? Lisa conciliatory stroked Yeager's hand. You've never seen him, father. Already more calmly asked Yeager. Where from? We left. He didn't write or come. He probably has another family long ago. Perhaps I have a brother or sister. Can you imagine? Lisa smiled sadly. You and I shall bear 2 offspring. Igor became animated, so they wouldn't be bored. We had an agreement. Lisa gazed at her companion critically. She admired Igor greatly. When he was nearby, as he was now, her heart commenced beating vigorously, and a pleasant warmth overflowed. She yearned more than anything to kiss him, to embrace him, and never part for an instant. But Mom, let's depart. Why did you rise? Lisa yelled at Igor, and then proceeded first. Jaeger caught up with her. So, what shall we introduce them? Nothing will transpire. Mom does not regard men. Not at all. And we'll devise something. Igor did not insist. The snow was descending, and Lisa and Igor were oblivious to it, conversing about how to introduce adults who dread new acquaintances. In the evening, Lisa informed her mother that on Friday there would be a parent-teacher gathering concerning the forthcoming graduation celebration. Already, so early, Zoya was taken aback. Mother, prior to the summer, all the restaurants will be reserved. We'll need to sit in the school cafeteria. That's terrible. Lisa expressed her displeasure. All right, what time is the gathering? Mom asked wearily. At 7 in the evening. Okay, sure. However, you'll need to assist me with tidying up after work, or else I won't have enough time. Zoya anticipated Lisa to complain, to mention that she had many lessons to complete, that she had things to attend to. Fine. Lisa surprisingly agreed easily, which caught her mother off guard. On Friday, she genuinely aided her mom in cleaning the staircases and the museum's hallway. As she approached the school, Zoya noticed lights in several windows on the 2nd floor. She entered the vacant building and proceeded to ascend to the 2nd floor. Her footsteps echoed in the hush of the empty hallways. Suddenly, Zoya heard someone's footsteps trailing behind her. She looked back. A man was hastily following her. Hold on, can you tell me where the 12th office is? He shouted to her. Zoya paused, anticipating his arrival. Zoya, you? The gentleman halted a few paces away. Zoya was speechless with astonishment. In the gentleman, she recognized Alexei, her former spouse, Lisa's father. Are you also headed to the gathering? Do any of your children attend the same class as my Lisa? Zoya suddenly couldn't catch her breath. No, a friend's son. He and his wife are on duty, doctors. They asked me to come, or rather, I volunteered myself for nothing. Zoya was about to proceed further down the hallway when Alexei's voice intercepted her. So your daughter is already in her final year? Yes, our daughter studies here. Or have you forgotten that you and I have a daughter? Zoya sarcastically remarked. I haven't forgotten, only, Alexei hesitated. I'm not sure it's my daughter. Oh, really? Zoya gasped. Can you recall Lenka Smirnova? Fine, she mentioned that she spotted you together. With that, what's his name? Tulik, and that it wasn't my baby. I was going crazy at that moment. I was prepared to eliminate you. Remember how we fought? Alexei was so passionate. Are you sincere now? Why didn't you inquire with me? The fool in love with you told falsehoods about me, and you believed them? Because of that, you didn't call, didn't come, initiated divorce proceedings? I haven't seen you for 17 years, and I never wish to see you again. Zoya shouted and ran away. Her heels clattered through the quietness of the school corridor with a machine gun burst. Wait, Zoya, belatedly called out Alexei, and rushed to catch up with her. But Zoya didn't want to converse with him, pushed him away. She came home with her eyes crimson and swollen with tears. Mom, why are you so early? Wasn't there a meeting? Lisa got concerned. Put the kettle on, Zoya only said, and closed herself in the bathroom. I informed you it wouldn't function. Something has gone awry. Mom's weeping. Arrived home too rapidly. What to accomplish? Lisa inscribed a communication to Igor. Mom entered the kitchen. She had already altered her attire and tidied up. So, what about the gathering? Lisa inquired once more. Mom took a few sips of potent tea before responding. I don't know. I encountered your father. Zoya sipped once more, the cup in her hand trembling. Father? Here? Lisa widened her eyes in astonishment. Yes, here. It turns out he assumed you weren't his daughter all these years. Zoya sobbed with indignation. No, I can't believe you'd consider such a notion. I'd never see him again. Everything. I do not wish to converse about him. After tea, Lisa proceeded to her chamber and inscribed to Igor. Mom revealed that she encountered my father. It's insane. Late in the evening, a bell rang in the apartment. Zoya went to unlock the door. You? Why are you here? Leave. Lisa heard her mother's frightened voice. She exited her chamber, observed some gentlemen in the corridor and Jaeger behind his back. Her heart worried and, at the same time, happily leaked in her chest. Zoya, please pay attention to me, the gentleman said. I don't wish to hear anything. You never phoned me once when I departed. You have not been concerned about us all these years. Go away. Zoe's voice turned into a scream. Listen to me, the gentleman shouted as well. Yes, I was a fool. But I was so envious of you that one drop of a lie was enough to make me believe it, the gentleman expressed in a hushed voice. Allow me to guess. You married Smirnova. I knew it, Zoya laughed hysterically. We separated after 6 months. I didn't love her. It's my fault. I'm sorry. A man noticed Lisa. She's so mature. I don't comprehend anything. Uncle Lyosha, are you Lisa's father? Igor asked. It appears so. I've been denying it all my life. How can I rectify it? Zoya, Lisa nearly wept. There's simply no such thing as happenstance. Her mom spoke ill of her father. And there he stood, facing her, and she didn't know how to feel about him. She listened to herself and felt more content than upset. All the more so because he looked quite respectable. You could even call him handsome. But Mom was right. He hadn't been in her life for 17 years. He wasn't interested, didn't want to know anything about her. It's so simple for you. Let's try to remedy it. Zoya taunted Alexei. You penned such a letter to me. I'm speechless. How dare you come here? Why are we lingering in the hallway? Lisa intervened. Let's go to the kitchen. There we'll converse. She gently touched her mother's shoulder. Zoya abruptly pulled away, dropping her hand. Don't meddle, Lisa. We're not going anywhere. You think it's easy to forgive those 17 years? It's time for him to leave. Zoya went to the door and swung it open. Go away. I did not pen any correspondences to you. Lisa is correct. We require to depart. With teardrops in her tone echoed Zoya as she ventured into her chamber. All night, Liza overheard her mother turning in the adjacent chamber, sighing and weeping. And Lisa contemplated her father, reflecting on what she had gleaned from the snippets of sentences. Somebody had deceived them both, parted them, and they had believed separated. Why is it so arduous for people to converse? A DNA examination would have quelled all doubts. The subsequent day after school, he and Igor were contemplating what to accomplish. I will converse with Uncle Lyosha. He is intrigued in ascertaining the veracity, Jaeger pledged. And you consent to do the examination? Certainly. For several days the circumstance was strained. Zoya declined to discuss her father with Lisa, and she eagerly awaited the test outcome. Igor convinced Uncle Lyosha to visit Lisa's mother, and there, all together, to peruse the conclusion. Lisa indeed turned out to be Alexei's offspring, the precise individual with whom he and Igor aspired to introduce her mother, organize their encounter at school. 17 years of animosity are challenging to erase. Alexei didn't hasten Zoya, endured her accusations patiently, implored pardon. Eventually, Zoya pardoned him. Lisa united them, desiring a paternal figure intensely. The crucial point is that they are all united, even if it's post 17 years. You ought not to trust hearsay as the expressions of a jealous companion, notably one who loves your spouse.